Y'all know we get these things and we be all excited to unbox them, get them on the table, or like what I'm doing on the couch, start taking this stuff out the box. That's the fun part, taking it out the box, checking out what you got, getting that feeling, be all excited. See this stuff? That's the fun part, getting it out the box, trying to figure out where we're going to put it on the shelf. And then the fun part, or the not so fun part, what to do with the accessories. In my case, I leave all my accessories in the box. And then what to do with the box. That seems to be something that will never go away. People trying to decide what should they do with all the boxes that we end up with when we buy all this stuff. So I think I give y'all my opinion. What to do with all the boxes. This is off the subject about boxes. Well, since I'm built like a box now, I got to get back in shape. But I went indoor skydiving, which was pretty cool. Me and the whole family. And I watched the video back and it's just funny watching the instructor and my dumb ass trying to figure out how to get in the thing and him trying to keep me from killing myself, watching him struggle with my big 6'3", 230-pound ass. Oh, it's funny. I'm gonna put some of the video up on the screen, but yeah, man, I gotta get myself in shape because now I'm built like a box. Hey, but I was doing it though without his help. By the second time, man, I was a flying machine. So we're going to definitely have to go back and do that again. But anyway, back on the subject. Boxes. All right, here's my opinion on boxes. I keep all my boxes. And you can see like right there, those are all boxes lined up along the top of my display shelves. And let me do something. Because this looks better. I must have turned those off or something, but that looks better in the video when it's turned on versus being turned off. But I keep all my boxes and I use them as part of the display because I like the art. Everything goes back to art with me. I like the artwork on the front of the boxes. A lot of them be real dope. Some of them be real plain. But for the most part, the box art is really dope on a lot of these figures. So yeah, I keep the boxes. And it also depends on what you collect. Cause like my Transformers, outside of the 3-0 boxes, most of my Transformer boxes are not all that spectacular. So that brings me to the other thing I do with my boxes. So pretty much my 1/6 scale boxes, I use all as part of my display. All over, all on top of the racks. That's what's on top. I used to have DTOS and then I used to have Calyx. I think that's what they was called. I used those as risers and I had the DTOS on top and I used to put the boxes at the bottom in each cube of the Calyx. But as y'all can see, I'm no longer using DTOS. I got the garage shell. So now all my boxes go along the top. And I got a whole front row, but then I got it's like 3 sets of boxes on each one. So the front row is what you see now. I sometimes take them all down and rotate them out and it'll be a whole different set of boxes on the top. Cause these garage shells, you can get a bunch of boxes on the top of them. Now the ones that y'all don't see, this is what else I do with my boxes, right? Part of my display and the rest I store away. I got a spot where you see the blade and the Venom. It's a spot back behind there under my stairs. Actually, I don't have no boxes back there. That's just straight up storage. I got another set of garage shelves all the way off on the other side of my basement. I got some garage shelves. I got like all my Transformer, wrestling, all the other random stuff, and some leftover 6 scale boxes on that side in a little storage area on the garage shelf. That's what I do with my boxes, right? Because I still got room for them. So if you still got room, depending on the type of boxes you have, store them in the house, in a storage place, an extra storage place. Maybe you got room in your garage, keep them in there, or use them as part of your display like I got with mine. That's an option. And that's really it. Use them as part of your display or keep them stored up in a room, either your basement, your garage, or wherever you got an extra space. Cause me personally, I don't advocate throwing away boxes. Especially me, since I've been doing this so long. As I've told y'all in other videos, probably 50% of my collection is probably newer, and probably the other 50% is probably about 10 years old. But I've been doing this for a real long time, since 2003. I don't have nothing that I purchased in 2003. All of that stuff is gone, every single piece.
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
I wish I still had some of that stuff just for collection history purposes, but I don't. All that stuff is gone. And everything that I had, put back in the box and sold it with the box. So I don't advocate getting rid of the boxes because it's better to ship the stuff in the original box it came in when you get ready to sell, if you ever decide to sell some stuff. And I'm always selling because I get tired of stuff. My taste change. I like to recycle. Sometimes I need money for something else. So if I want to buy something else and there's something in my collection that I'm looking at, I'm like, well, I ain't too fond of that no more. Goes right back in the box. I sell it, take that money, buy something else. That's how I've been doing it for this entire time. I'm more of a leaser than a collector. I'm going to have to start calling myself a leaser because I'll be leasing this stuff. Man, hey, it's been working for me and it keep my collection fresh. My taste change all the time. So that's just how it is with me. But say you don't have the room for your boxes. Here's my thing, right? If you have a storage and you got boxes at a storage place, a storage unit, you're spending money every month to keep that stuff stored up, right? My logic says if you got to pay for storage because you don't have any room at home, you ran out of room, and there's no option to keep the boxes at home, but you like, man, I'm worried about the value of my piece, which not having a box does kind of knock the value down because the art box is the art box. It's made specifically to hold the figure, and it's a part of the whole experience. It's the art box. So most collectors do not want to buy a figure without the art box. People will buy stuff loose, but they don't like to, depending on which hobby and line you're in. Most people don't like to buy it without the high end stuff. The high end stuff. Most people don't like to get it without the box. The stuff on the lower end, that's iffy. Some collectors collect like the lower end stuff, but they still like their stuff mint on card. Cause some people actually keep their stuff in the box. Not a lot of people, but some people do. So that can affect the value. But look at it like this, right? Here's my logic. If you dumping money in a storage unit, you're better off just getting rid of the boxes because it's not going to make a difference like that when you go to sell a figure, because you figure you already losing money anyway, dumping it at a storage unit. You might as well just get rid of the boxes, keep your money instead of paying for storage. And then when you go to sell something, depending on how much you sell, just take the small loss and call it a day because you're losing money anyway. So what's the difference? So it's better off to just get rid of the box and just keep the figure and call it a day. And if you're somebody who don't sell anyway, it probably really don't even matter because you don't ever plan on selling and there's no point in having the box. And if you never plan on selling, that means you're going to your grave collecting this stuff. The only problem with that is it's going to fall on the people who are left. The stuff is left behind to deal with it after you're gone. I got 2 pieces in my collection right now that I got off somebody, but they was all back in the boxes, but they came from an estate sale. The person passed away and he had all these figures, but they had the boxes for everything. So the 2 figures that I got was in the box. They put them back in the box, and them things is in excellent condition. So you might have a situation like that where the people who left to deal with all this stuff after you gone, but still goes to my point though, that you're already losing money dumping it in the storage. You might as well just keep your money in your pocket and just take the small loss, because it ain't going to be a crazy loss. I was trying to get another Fans Toys Road King. Somebody contacted me with one outside the box, and it was like $50 cheaper than what I would have got it for brand new. So it's not that big of a difference. So that's my logic. If you're paying for a storage unit, you ran out of room and you're paying for a storage unit, makes no sense to pay that money. Just take the small loss when you sell it loose. Get rid of them. Take them to the recycle place. Or you can sell boxes loose on eBay. People are looking for boxes all the time. I bought a couple boxes that I needed. I had a box get damaged and I liked the art box, so I went and bought another box. It's a website called Monkey Depot. They sell empty boxes all day long on there. I got like 3 from them. So you can actually make some money selling the empty box that'll replace the money that you would lose when you go to sell it loose. So that's another option. Sell the empty boxes. Get rid of them, take them to storage. Take them to recycle or sell them. Now, for your most valuable stuff, like stuff you just know in your heart of hearts, it's worth a lot of money and you might one day possibly sell, I would say keep those boxes. Keep the boxes for like the most important stuff in your collection. Now, I don't know about statues. This is a little bit different with statues. I've heard people with statues say that it's a nightmare trying to ship a statue outside of the original box. So I don't know, tell you statue collectors, but paying for a storage unit, that's just a waste of money to me, in my opinion. This really only applies to 1/6 collectors, or mainly Hot Toys collectors, because they seem to be, and it's a small minority, probably like 5% of the people who collect 1/6. They seem to be anal about the shipper box.
What did you say, nigga?
Like Transformer collectors, and all the other collectors, they can give a damn about a shipper box. Shipper box instantly go in the trash, recycle, whatever. But Hot Toys collectors, that small percentage seem to think a shipper box has some type of value.
Stop it. Get some help.
I don't know where they got that from. Shipper boxes have absolutely no value.
What's wrong with you, bro? What the heck? You tripping, bro. You tripping.
They have one purpose. It's a brown box that Hot Toys just happens to put their logo and stamp and all that over. That's used to get the box from point A to point B, and that's it. No other purpose for it. I take shipper boxes and I keep them. I cut them and throw them over here, and I reuse them as shipper boxes to ship out other 6 scale figures that I sell. Like I might have a shipper box for Iron Man that came in, and then I sell Black Panther. I take the Black Panther and reuse that shipper box from the Iron Man for the Black Panther, because it's easier to ship it in a shipper box versus trying to find another box. And the boxes that I don't end up using, they just go to recycle after like 3 months. That's what I do with my shipper boxes, because they mean absolutely nothing. And I've never lost a sale because I didn't have the shipper box. Because all I tell them is I ship it in another brown box to protect the art box, because that's all they really care about. That's all it's used for. Shipper boxes have no value. Get rid of them damn things. And people sometimes be like, well, if you keep in the original art box, you just put the art box in the shipper box. Then I have a whole shelf full of brown boxes. Makes no sense. I want to see the actual art from the art box. So again, the shipper box has no purpose other than shipping boxes from point A to point B. So, I mean, if you want to keep them, cut them like I do, and use them for shipping boxes to ship other figures out, by all means. But if you keeping them because you think they hold some type of value for your figure, they don't. Absolutely none. And that's my opinion on boxes.